Welcome back. You're still watching Signature Morning on Signature TV, and we're still talking on the success of the Super Falcons on their 10th WAFCON finals. This is a great news, and everyone is very much excited. And we're still talking about it. So, joining us this morning via Zoom is Erenayo Dorcas Koki, a sports presenter and journalist, to talk on the success of Falcons in African football. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
All right. Now, first of all, I'd like to know how you feel, the victory and everything. Everyone is excited, but I'd like to know how you feel, when we finally won that match. How was it like for you?
Well, I have been following the Super Falcons for a very long time, and when we won, it was like all over again, ecstasy. I knew that we were able to do it. In fact, the entire tournament, even before the final, I did say that the Super Falcons were going to be winning their 10th crown, and that was exactly what happened. So I was filled with ecstasy. Though I had a job to do, so I had to ensure that I was neutral until I was pretty much done with the job description. So I was running commentary at that point in time. So immediately after that, realization dawned on me that the girls have done it again, and the way they did it was what gave me the most joy, because coming back from 2-0 down in a hostile crowd, away from home, it was just really, really amazing, and the girls dug deep and eventually won their 10th crown. So I think it was an exciting moment for me, and till date, till date, because fans are still happy, I am still happy. So the girls really did us proud.
All right. Now, so how significant would you say that this title, Super Falcons 10th WAFCON title, is when it comes to African women's football?
Oh, it's very significant. The thing is, it's not just for the continent of Africa. The Super Falcons are the first national team to win 10 titles. 10 titles. That's the first female national team in the world to win 10 titles. So they have just surpassed the United States women's national team, who have won their continental crown for the 9th time alongside China. And then Brazil have about 8. So it's really significant. And that's to tell you that the Super Falcons have been really dominant when it comes to the continental scene. No country so far have been able to stop us. Yes, South Africa in recent times, but it was just one time that they went ahead to do it. Equatorial Guinea twice in the course of this period. So the Super Falcons making it 10 is quite significant. And the entire continent knows that. CAF knows that. It's really big. If we look at the men's national team, the highest we've had win the AFCON is Egypt with 7, and the last time they won it was a very long time ago. So the Super Falcons have been very dominant. They've been the queens of the continent for the longest of time, and they did it again. The way they did it is just really exceptional to watch. So it is a major significance, not just for football, but also for football on the continent. Nigerian football also has to learn from this, that we can do this over and over again. So that's why I think the presidency, of course, had to celebrate the girls the way they did. So yeah, it's pretty much significant.
All right. Now, looking at the players and how they performed, who would you say impressed you the most when it comes to their delivery and the role they played at the finals?
Oh, I have a lot of players. I have a list if you ask me. But there is one person that I will start with, and I was thoroughly impressed with her in the course of the tournament. And she was just only making her debut, and that has to be Estelle Korunkwo. Estelle Korunkwo, who plays for AFC Toronto in Canada. She was amazing. I don't know what else to say other than being exceptionally amazing. That was what she was for the team. She, in the course of the tournament, she had about 7 assists and scored 2 goals. That is just pure amazing for her. She was very integral for Nigeria winning their 10th crown, because whenever she was on, there was going to be assists, there was going to be creativity. She was really fluid with the ball, and that's what we love to see from our players. So first of all, I'll start with Estelle Korunkwo. And the excitement I get to see when local players step into the scene and do it quite well, it's really good. I'll talk about Falashade Jamilusi, the striker who now flies that trade in China. She used to play here in the NWFL, with FC Rebel Queens before she left just about last season. So you look at that, the courage she had, and when she was called upon to play, it was really impressive to watch her. Also, Captain Rashida Tajibade, her leadership trait is just what you need to put the team together. You can see the unity in the team. And yeah, in the first 3 games, she exactly wasn't at her very best, but from Zambia to South Africa. From then on, from the quarterfinals, you could see Rashidat being a major part of the team. So I think these three players especially stood out to me, and I can never forget Jennifer Echegini. She was also really good for the team as well. So I can mention quite a lot of players, but I don't know if time would if time would let me continue. But yeah,
Okay, but these are the ones that really stood out for you.
yes, yes.
All right. Now, do you think that the Super Falcons are getting the recognition they deserve? And I'm not just talking about what the craze around them during this period. I mean, even before now, do you think that they have been getting the support and the recognition that they deserve even before now?
Not yet. We haven't seen that just yet. To be the most decorated national team in Nigeria, but they don't get that recognition. In fact, some persons didn't even know that there was a final going on Saturday. That was how bad it is. But if it was the Super Eagles, everybody in the world would have known that the Super Eagles were playing. So I think because it's women's football, people aren't exactly in sync yet with it, especially on the continent. In Nigeria as well, some would tell you women's football is boring, women's football isn't there yet. Obviously, it wouldn't be there yet because you look at men's football, it started light years back, like 100 years ago. And what we're having women's football just recently being played as well. So you look at that disparity, the gap is pretty much too much. So for now, the girls aren't exactly getting the recognition that we expect them to get. But I think people are coming to realization that the girls are even doing greater things than what the Super Eagles are doing. Mind you, you cannot compare men's football to men's football because, like I said, women's football is growing and in fast pace as well. But men's football has been here for ages, and that's why people are more in sync with it and are really following it the way that they do. So I think gradually the world will learn more about women's football and also the Super Falcons as well, because right now we have to start getting better on the world stage, the global stage. When we go to the World Cup, the Olympics, that is where we've got to strut our stuff now, because when you look at the continent, we've done it already, and 10 times champions. I think nobody right now can support except they continue to grow their own football in their countries, within their respective countries. So the girls are only getting the attention now because of how they did it and because it's Nigeria, and we love social media as well, because people will tell you that success have quite a lot of friends, and that's what the Super Falcons are currently enjoying. So I think in the coming years people would continue the Super Falcons will get more support and more love from people, and when they hear that Super Falcons are playing, they will tend to come together and watch the game generally.
All right, but is there anything that you think can be done to speed up the process? Because you've mentioned that people, when they hear women's football, they say it's boring, and they don't really give it that much attention the way they give to even though the men's football has been here for long, but that idea of being boring and just not worth the time. So while we're hoping that with time people will get to have interest in it, what else can be done to make people just want to identify with and not see it as boring anymore?
Well, more investment. That's basically what it is. More investment, because the international body have been doing quite a lot to invest in women's football. International body in the person of FIFA. The first time we saw a large audience in women's football was in 2019, the World Cup in France, and the attendance was just pure amazing. So it was from there that it grew. And Nigeria have got to be in sync with that. You've got to invest more. The Super Falcons lack investment. We all know that. The girls, before the president even came into the conversation, were owed allowances dating back to 2022. So that's how far they don't exactly invest in women's football in this country. So I think we have quite a lot of stories to tell. We have quite a lot of talents that are dying away, withering away in the country. I follow the NWFL. I talk about it. I cover it. I've seen loads and loads of talent. So it's not just about the national team now. You have to grow locally. You have got to grow your league locally. We have the talent here. If you look at the national team from the first years, the last years of you talk about at Messi Akide, you talk about Perpetua Wokocha. They basically played from the league, and that's what Super Falcons have been enjoying over the years, right? It's just recently that we have started going out to bring players or Nigerian-born players from in the US, in England, or what have you. But back dating the Super Falcons success started with the NWFL. So if we want more success, we have to ensure that we're investing more in women's football, league especially, because the league lacks the funds. It lacks the funds. I can categorically tell you that because, like I said, I cover the league. So they need more investment in it. They need more visibility as well. And with that, we could get to where we want to. If you look at the United States, they have a properly run league, women's league in the US, and that's where everybody now is going. You look at the Aizat Oshola, who is a dominant force, of course, when it comes to national team football, 6-time African best player of the year. You could imagine that she now plays for BFC in the US. You look at the fact that the Mitchell Aloziers and the rest of them, they basically play in the US. So that is where everybody is going now. And with time, I think with more investment into the league, we'll get better and more visibility will be shown when it comes to women's football in the country.
All right. Now, seeing the success of the Falcons in this particular match, but we also see situations where when they go for international matches like FIFA or other global this thing, they drop. In fact, they don't make it at all to the finals. Now, why is that? Why do you think that when it comes to African football, we're topping, we're doing great, we're doing lovely, but then when we go to the global stage where we compete with other countries like Spain and England and the rest, we don't make it? Why is that?
That isn't difficult to answer. That is simply because we need a coach that is tactically and technically sound. You don't get to go play against Spain, who are really technically abundantly good. England, we've played England in at the last World Cup. So you look at that, and the way we lost was via penalties, and it was 4 decisions from our girls, right? So you could see that. But then again, if you're going to play on the global scale, on the global stage, you've got to have a coach that is technically apt, that is technically good as well, and tactically sound as well, and bring up tactics. Because when you're facing teams like Spain, like England and the rest of them, Sweden, some very good female football countries in the world, and the USA, you've got to understand that you've got to have plan A and B. Our players, I think, can play at the highest of levels, but they need a tactically sound coach who will put them together, who will tell them that this is what we have to do now to change the trajectory of the game and end up winning it. So basically, it is the fact that we haven't exactly gone to the global stage and shine because of the fact that we lack the technical know-how. And
so you're saying that our coaches are not qualified enough to take our girls to the global stage?
Exactly. And I was just going to talk about the NFF. The NFF have not exactly given us the coach that we feel is capable enough to take us to that next level globally. We've talked about Samotenebi did it, but he wasn't. We're talking about you look at Morocco. Morocco currently have a World Cup winning coach in their ranks. This is his first time coaching in Africa, so maybe he caught in the slack. But I think he also made other countries who played at the WAFCON, he belittled them. He, even before the final, he didn't feel like Nigeria were able to match his girls. Technically, the Moroccans are good because of the coach that they have, right? And the way the North Africans play their football, they don't play football football like other regions in Africa, like the West or the South or anything. They play their football similar to that of the European brand of football. So the European brand of football is tactically and technically higher than what we have here in Africa. So when you need to compete at the highest of level, you need coaches who have understood the job when it comes to the technicality of it and the tacticality of it to be able to stand firm and have analyzers who be much football analyzers, game analyzers who be able to help you analyze a game as it is. So that is what we've lacked over the years there. The NFF haven't exactly done their due diligence in getting us the right coaches for this job.
All right, but when you talk about, coaches that have the technical know-how, we also know that when it comes to things like FIFA and the likes, the coaches are being changed to foreign coaches who I believe have the technical know-how. And at the end of the day, we still don't make it. So is it now a situation of technical know-how, or is there something else at play that we don't know about?
To be very honest, looking at the coaches over the years, who would you say is the best that we've had? I just mentioned Thomas Tenebi. Before he left, they brought in Randy Waldrum. At the point in time, it was Christopher Danjuma. Right now is Justin Madugu. So we haven't seen the technicality yet. These are coaches, yes, in their own right, but not the best coaches in the world. Give us the best coaches in the world. The Super Falcons have earned that right to be able to get the best coaches in the world. Now we keep chopping and changing coaches every 2 years. If that is even far-reaching. Every single time we keep changing coaches, and that doesn't also help the course of the team, because every single time they'll be learning new tactics from this coach, and then the next 2 months they are going to learn different tactics and philosophy from another coach. I talked about Christopher Danjuma. He's always the go-to guy when the NFF are trying to work on getting a coach for the team. And for me, honestly speaking, I don't think he is that in-depth when it comes to coaching. And it was under him that we failed to qualify for the Olympics, I think twice, and a couple of times for the World Cup. I think mostly the Olympics, because when it comes to the World Cup, I think we've qualified for every edition. So you look at that, and it's to tell you that what the girls need now is a coach that understands the global terrain, that understands how to play countries like Spain, like England, like Italy, like Germany and the rest of them. So that's basically what we need now. We've conquered the continent. Let's go out there and do something bigger. Like, get into the semis, get into finals of the World Cup. Maybe I am far-reaching, but it's not too much to ask, if you ask me.
All right. Now, we also see that our president, Tinubu, has gifted our Falcons, quite enormous gifts as a way of congratulating them for their success. Now, what do you think about that?
It is long overdue. It's long overdue. I talked about recognition for those girls. They've been doing it. It's not new. And this should not be news at all. It shouldn't be news that the presidency is giving them such things. But why is it making the news? Because it is new. It's the first time. It's the first time, and it shouldn't be. When the Super Eagles went to Cote d'Ivoire and finished second, they were given MONs, right? They were given monies and the rest of them. Now, the women went out there. I'm not saying that they should be equals or anything, but when it comes to the national scene, I feel like they should, right? Because they've earned the right as well. So because they won the tent, everybody is now saying, oh, great, it's amazing, and that's okay. I love the recognition for the girls because they did quite well. But it's a good thing that finally they are getting the recognition that they have been clamoring for. That presidential handshake to tell them, girls, well done for what you've done, for putting the country's name out there, because they've been doing it every single time. It's not the first time. So it's a great thing, but I don't think she's making the news because, it should be a normal phenomenon now, but it's not. So that's why it's making the news. But kudos to the presidency for ensuring that they celebrated the girls and, just show them love. That we see you, we love you, and we'll continue to support you. I think that's the message that he was trying to send.
All right, but do you think that this gift or this support is enough to sustain the momentum of the girls? Do you think it is enough motivation for them, to boost their performance when it comes to football?
Absolutely. Money is a major source of motivation for any team, anybody at all. It's a major sort of motivation, and the Super Falcons are not going to be left out of this. Next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to play the WAFCON again, and we get to qualify for the World Cup. It's going to be even more motivation. Why did you think the girls fought the way that they fought in the final when they were trailing 2 goals to nil? It was because the presidency have paid all of their allowances backdating in 2022, right? So the girls were like, we cannot now let the country down after the monies have been paid. So why don't we go do our stuff? And they went out there, second half, they came out and they were high flying. So money is a major source of motivation. Even without the money, the girls have been pretty much motivated because they know that when you're playing at your very best, clubs will see you, biggest of clubs, big clubs around the world will see you and pay huge sum of money to get you. So they know that while they are doing it for themselves and doing it for the country as well, they know that they have got to motivate themselves one way or the other. But with the fact that now the government have done this and the rewards that they've currently had, now you have what? OON attached to your name when you're putting it anywhere. It's a huge source of motivation. So I'm sure this will motivate the girls going forward. It's not like they have never been motivated before, but this is really, really big for them, and they would really appreciate this.
All right. Now, you mentioned, that this shouldn't even, be news as such because, I mean, the Super Eagles have been giving gifts and have been, congratulated, in the past more than once.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that this is an issue of inequality or gender inequality of some sort, seeing that, the way the men have been treated when it comes to football is quite different from, how the ladies have been treated?
Once again, I'll repeat what I said. Men's football have been here for ages, and people are more attached to men's football than women's football, and that is why men's football will always get the edge over women's football. So it's not about exactly equality here. When you look at Nigeria's sports scene session or world, you see that women have been the most decorated in the history of sports in this country. We all know that for sure. Be it athletics, be it badminton, be it whatever sport I want to mention, women have continued to get the job done for us over the years. So it's not exactly about inequality. It's about what people are more attached to. People are more attached to watching male football. If you go to the streets and ask them to mention female clubs and their players or their names, you barely get one or two that'll tell you something, maybe because they follow the league. But just ask them, mention clubs in the world and players. They will start telling you. Man United, they'll call the players, and they won't call the coaches that you don't even know. You call Chelsea, they'll call the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona and the rest of them. That is because they've affiliated themselves over the course of the years with male football. Women's football, like I said, is just growing and it's only starting to gain attention. So it's not exactly about inequality here. It's about what people are more accustomed to seeing and what they followed over the course of the years. And that's no different when it comes to football and what the presidency has done.
All right. So now for you, or like in your opinion, what do you think that this win means for the reputation of Nigerian football globally? What does this win mean for us on the global stage and our reputation as Nigerians?
I think anybody who knows Nigeria, they know Nigerians to be first hardworking. They know Nigerians to be always ready to give in their best, to put in their best in whatever they do. Yes, we have currently, I think that's the right word to use, we have some negativity around us sometimes when we travel because people feel like we are the most corrupt whatever in the world, which I do not agree with, by the way. But then it's exactly what it is and why it is the way that it is. But when it comes to sports, the world already knows that what Nigeria can do. Everybody knows that. Be it in athletics, be it in football, the world knows when you mention Nigeria that they are a tough nut to crack when it comes to sports. So it doesn't change anything in our reputation. It just adds to it that we are still there, that we are growing when it comes to women's football again, and that in the next years to come, we could even do greater as well. So I think that's what the world needs to know right now when it comes to Nigerians in sports. We've seen that. So I think that's the most exciting thing about the success for the Super Falcons.
And what would you say that the team should focus on ahead of, the next Women's World Cup or even the Olympic qualifiers or, whatever coming match, that is going to be up next? What do you think, or what would you say that the team should focus on to get better results?
I think the team is literally complete. What the NFF needs to do is to get the girls the right matches, the right friendlies to play, prepare the team for the next competition, and just continue to do right by them. The girls are already motivated enough. The team knows that on the continent, everybody wants to beat Nigeria, because when you beat Nigeria, it looks like you are doing the right things, right? So that's what the NFF have got to do: prepare the girls early enough, get them the right matches. If they're going to play the WAFCON, you get them those quality friendlies that, of course, will keep them really thirsty for the main events to come. And that's what the NFF needs to basically do. So they don't need to change much, because the team is already too complete. And the players are really good at this point in time and are playing at the best leagues across the world: the US, in England, in Spain. They're playing across those countries. So they don't need to change much. I think basically.
All right, thank you so much, Erenayo Dorcas Koki, for this lovely conversation. Had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And besides, you're calling my name perfectly, so that's amazing. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
And you too. Thank you.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.